What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, July 14th, 2026, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 15:43 Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to update you guys on the situation with Iran. We also have some major breaking news coming in from Europe. So before I get into the Iran news, I want to just share some very concerning news coming out of Europe. So the British government is going to be updating its secret government war book as they plan to hold the largest home defense exercise in decades next year and launch a new campaign to raise public awareness about the importance of national resilience. Wow. Okay, so the British government preparing its largest civil defense exercise in decades next year, updating their government war book, which are probably some kind of war plans or continuity of government, something like what we have here in the U.S., what you do with the government when there's a full-scale attack on the country. Also, we have some very concerning news coming out of Estonia. So it looks like Russia did a snap exercise right on the border of Estonia. Estonia has disclosed that for the first time, Russia conducted a live fire military exercise on Lake Peipus without providing any prior notification to Estonian authorities, marking an unprecedented departure from previous practice along the shared border. The exercise took place on July 9th, so that's last Thursday, on the Russian side of Lake Peipus, Europe's fifth largest lake, through which the border between Estonia and Russia runs. According to Estonian officials, Russian forces fired at moving targets on the water, something that had never been previously been observed on the lake. Okay, so if you look at a map of Estonia, there's this big lake, and the Russian-Estonian border splits the lake in half. Russia doing live fire exercises on that lake. Okay, that is insane, guys. That would be like, if Canada was doing live fire exercises like in the Great Lakes somewhere without telling us, okay? That's a massive provocation. The Estonian Defense Minister Hanno Pevkur described the exercise as highly unusual, noting that Russian border forces had never before conducted weapons drills on Lake Peipus. He suggested the training may have involved countering naval drones. Estonia's police and border guard confirmed that no advance warning was received from Russia before the live fire drill, despite authorities monitoring the activity throughout. While Russia has previously carried out military exercises near the land border, officials stressed that conducting a live fire exercise on the lake itself and doing so without notification represents a notable change in Russian military behavior. So that is extremely concerning news, guys. Wanted to just update you guys on the situation with Iran. So right now we have a U.S. nuclear war command and control plane airborne over Kansas. And just in the last hour or so, there have been scattered strikes on Iran. And the U.S. Central Command just posted a statement a few minutes ago saying that they're currently striking Iran as part of preparations to reinstate the blockade, which is supposed to be reinstated this afternoon, okay? So I'm going to be monitoring the situation closely. I will most likely be going live later tonight to cover everything. This is a very, very serious situation going on in Iran right now, and with this blockade in place, you can be sure that Iran is going to escalate, and they're going to start attacking U.S. ships. They're going to start attacking more of their neighbors, and it's just going to escalate even further. Okay, so count on me to be your #1 source for the Iran war. And make sure you have all your notifications set up on YouTube and follow me on Twitter. Also, subscribe to my Patreon and download my free app so you can get notifications directly to your phone when things are going down. And Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps announced that they targeted the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters again yesterday with missiles and drones in Bahrain, and they also targeted a U.S. base in Jordan. And U.S. Central Command said last night that they completed a wave of strikes. During the 5-hour mission, U.S. forces successfully struck military targets across Iran, including Bushehr, Chabahar, Jask, Abu Musa, and Bandar Abbas, to further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping. So we looked at these cities on Google Earth last night, and all these targets were right along the Strait of Hormuz. There's a bunch of IRGC bases in all these different cities that were just named. And President Trump issued a lengthy statement on Truth Social declaring that the Strait of Hormuz is now open to all commercial shipping except vessels traveling to or from Iranian ports or carrying Iranian cargo, crediting recent U.S. military operations with restoring freedom of navigation. Trump said the U.S. will maintain a full blockade of Iran, warning that the country's leadership is leading Iran down the path of total destruction. He also announced he is abandoning the proposed 20% U.S. reimbursement fee floated yesterday, saying it will instead be replaced by trade and investment agreements with Persian Gulf countries. Okay, so no 20% fee to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. So this is different from the last blockade, because the last blockade we weren't actually escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. We had the blockade in place, but Iran was still attacking ships. We weren't escorting them. Now we're actually going to be escorting ships and providing security. Okay, so effectively we're going to regain control of the Strait of Hormuz and start allowing oil to flow through it. Okay. And an Iranian military spokesman said that the Strait of Hormuz will not be reopened in light of war provocations and American aggression. So the Iranians are in a full state of war at this point. And an Iranian security source warned that Iran will launch a devastating response against American troops and regional partners if U.S. President Trump executes his threatened strikes against Pickaxe Mountain. So Pickaxe Mountain is the mountain right near Natanz. We looked at it last night in the live stream. It's got 8 tunnel entrances into this mountain. Okay, 8 entrances into the mountain. The mountain's 5,200 feet in elevation, and it's about 2 miles across. So it's a massive complex underneath this mountain. And the only way for the U.S. to really destroy what's inside the mountain or take control of it is to send troops on the ground, because it's such a big mountain, and the complex is so deep under the mountain that you would need to use multiple earth-penetrating warheads, such as from B-61 nuclear gravity bombs, which we do have in the theater. In as close as Turkey, we have several dozen B-61 nuclear gravity bombs that we could load onto stealth fighters and drop on all the entrances to this facility. But then we wouldn't have any proof to show the international community that Iran was, building nukes underground there. So if we destroy it, there's no evidence. So sending special ops on the ground to get in there and seize it, and this way we would have all the evidence there. And the U.S. has reportedly paused the withdrawal of its aerial refueling aircraft from Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion International Airport as tensions with Iran continue to escalate. So they were supposed to move out like 15 of these aerial refuelers. I think there's currently 36 of them. They were supposed to drop down to just 20 there, which is still a lot. But they're going to keep those 30-plus aerial refuelers in Ben Gurion Airport. So that is a sign that Things are about to escalate, and the U.S. is preparing for that. And Iran's parliament approved a bill introducing tolls for the Strait of Hormuz payable in Bitcoin, yuan, and stablecoin. So that's cryptocurrency and Chinese currency. Okay, so that's very serious, guys. Okay, Iran still thinks that they can control the Strait of Hormuz. And Trump on Tuesday announced a reversal of plans to charge a 20% toll on cargo going through the Strait of Hormuz, saying that Middle Eastern countries will instead make investment and trade deals with the U.S. Based on highly productive conversations with Middle East leadership, I have decided to replace the 20% U.S. reimbursement fee with trade and investment deals that the various Gulf states will be making into the United States. And Iran's Tasnim news agency is saying that U.S. projectiles exploded near the Kish power plant in Kish, Iran. So it looks like the U.S. was trying to target a power plant in Kish, Iran. And the Houthis published a statement warning airlines against operating in Saudi Arabian airspace, stating carriers should take our warnings seriously until what they describe as the blockade of Yemen's international airport is lifted. So if you guys are not aware, the Houthis and Saudi Arabia were fighting each other over the weekend. Saudi Arabia bombed the international airport in Yemen, and the Houthis launched a missile at Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot going on, guys. This is a very complex situation, okay? And President Trump urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during a phone call on Thursday to begin withdrawing Israeli forces from Syria and to do the same in Lebanon, according to Axios. Trump warned that Israel's military presence in Syria is fueling tensions and could trigger further escalation, telling Netanyahu, "They don't want you there, you should redeploy." He said the same principle applies to Lebanon. Wow, so that's very, very serious. And overnight, drone strikes hit 2 Russian oil refineries. The Gazprom Neftekhim in Salavat, which is over 900 miles away from Ukraine, and the Afipsky refinery in Krasnodar Krai. Okay, so that's very far from Ukraine. These oil refineries are getting hit hard. And peace in Ukraine is highly unlikely to be reached soon, with Russia expected to prolong the conflict at least until the winter, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk stated on Tuesday in Paris, following high-level discussions with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Tusk emphasized that Russia's rigid stance under Putin makes a near-term ceasefire or peace agreement highly improbable, with a potential escalation of Russian military actions anticipated in the coming months. To prepare for eventual stability, Poland will host joint military exercises with French and British forces this autumn to ready a coalition of willing nations capable of providing real security guarantees for Ukraine. Wow. So British and French troops will be going to Poland to do joint exercises. That is totally insane. And we know that there's intelligence that the U.S. has that Russia's planning to attack Poland, and the U.S. has tipped off the Poles and told them that Russia's planning to invade you. So very, very concerning. And I have Polish heritage, so this is something I'm watching very, very closely. I was in Poland less than 2 years ago, and right now we have 2 early warning radars blasting from a European radio station. So that tells me that either Iran is launching missiles or the U.S. is launching missiles, and early warning radars can detect missile launches from long distances. There's a big early warning radar in Cyprus, and anytime something is flaring up around Iran, these early warning radars get turned on. So I will be monitoring the situation closely, and I will go live as needed, and I will be live tonight for sure. But until the next time and until the live stream, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Oh, and I also forgot to share with you guys the wildfire smoke. We got a lot of wildfire smoke coming into the U.S. from Canada. Check this out. Right now, it's the Northeast and Midwest that are being affected by this wildfire smoke. So if you go outside and your eyes get itchy, that's the irritation from the smoke. So you definitely want to limit your time outside in these types of conditions. You can actually see some areas in southern Ontario are really getting bad conditions here. You can see that red dot, which indicates a very strong concentration. And then we also have this heat wave, another heat wave affecting the Midwest and the Northeast and New England. You can see heat advisories and also extreme heat warnings in the Dakotas and Minnesota. Temperatures are expected to get up to 100 degrees in many parts of Minnesota and North Dakota. So please stay inside, stay cool, don't exert yourself, just wait until the temperatures drop. But that's it for now. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by EMP Shield. Guys, EMP Shield has created a special discount just for you, the listeners of the NYPrepper channel. If you go to empshield.com and use the promo code NYPrepper, you can get 15% off your entire order. And why do you need an EMP Shield? Well, this is a special device to protect your vehicle, your RV, your solar generators, your radios from an electromagnetic pulse, which could be caused by a solar flare or potentially a rogue country like North Korea detonating an electromagnetic pulse weapon over the United States that's mounted onto a satellite. So protect your vehicles, protect your RV, protect your radios, protect your generators with an EMP Shield. Use my promo code NYPrepper to get 15% off. Installation is super simple. This is a veteran-owned business, 100% American-made, and the EMP Shields have been tested by the military, okay? And free shipping is included to the entire continental United States. And the link and the promo code are in the description below this video.